of a better day.
Good evening, I'm Brian Latham.
And I'm Tambry Lane. Thanks for joining GTN News tonight. Another plot to kill a teenager. This time, though, the plan is uncovered before the intended victim is killed. We have team coverage tonight.
As we first reported Friday night, police in Marion County arrested Christopher Ruggiero and Paul Manassi. You can see them here as they're taken to the Marion County Juvenile Center. Police say the 16-year-olds planned to kidnap, gag, and beat a 9th grader and dispose of his body parts in Miami. GTN's Venice Toussaint kicks off our team coverage with more how police uncover this plot.
It was here in this quiet, gated community where police say the plot to kill, torture, and dismember a 9th grader all began.
Detectives were able to arrest two 16-year-olds. They're facing a charge each of conspiracy to commit murder.
A conspiracy police say was prompted by a 16-year-old's hatred for one of his younger schoolmates. Police say Christopher Ruggiero, seen here being escorted to Marion County Jail, logged onto a live chat on his Xbox and asked 16-year-old Paul Manassi to help him kill the 9th grader. A witness who overheard the conversation online called authorities.
I think it's shocking in any community when you hear about 16-year-olds plotting to commit murder. That's just not a comfortable feeling anywhere.
Perhaps what's most shocking are the striking similarities to the brutal murder of 15-year-old Seth Jackson. The accused killer attended the same school as one of the suspects in this case, and Seth's family lives just down the street from suspect Ruggiero. Detectives say the teens talked about that case and how they would avoid getting caught.
And at one point, they said, we got to do this, take these steps so that we don't get caught like those guys did in that Seth Jackson case.
They say Manassi offered to use a torture kit in the back of his car to commit the crime. Deputies found an axe, a torch lighter, rope, and cutting tools in his car. Detectives say the suspects planned to gag, beat, and stuff the victim's body into a Kevlar bag and dispose of it in the waters of Miami. Now, GTN's George Solis continues our team coverage with reaction from the community.
That's ridiculous, man. I don't know what these kids are thinking these days.
It's a story that sounds all too familiar for Summerfield resident Randall Moriarty. Teens conspiring to kill another. Moriarty was a close friend of Seth Jackson, the Summerfield 15-year-old who police say was murdered by 5 teens.
Stupidity. I don't understand what they see in it. What do they do? Whether they think it's cool? Do they think it's cool to be a killer?
Two 16-year-olds, Chris Ruggiero and Paul Manassi, are charged with plotting another teen's murder. Residents say it's not something they expected from the boy who lived right up the street.
I think he might have just got caught up with the wrong people. He really didn't seem like, it wasn't a hoodlum of the neighborhood.
We tried to talk to the parents at Ruggiero's home. Just minutes ago, we saw this car pull into the driveway of this home, where we will now see if anyone will answer. Hello, GTN News. No answer, so we called. No answer. At the other suspect's house, we spoke to his mother. After a brief discussion with Paul Malnassi's mother, they've decided to speak to their attorney before addressing the media. One neighbor had this to say about 16-year-old Malnassi.
He was always a nice kid. He just seemed a little out there, I guess.
Authorities aren't clear how two boys from the opposite sides of town met. Investigators do know they played the Xbox together, a live online game system where strangers can become friends. Investigators don't know if the kids knew Seth Jackson, but say the pair did want to avoid getting caught.
At one point, they said, we got to do this, take these steps so that we don't get caught like those guys did in that Seth Jackson case.
Seth's friend can't imagine this happening to anyone else.
Put yourself in this kid's shoes. Put yourself in this kid's shoes, all right? There's 2 or 3 people or whatever plotting to kill you. What are you going to do?
Authorities aren't saying much about the targeted 9th grader whose life was spared by a gamer who wanted no part in murder. George Solis, GTN News, working for you.
The accused teens do not have any prior arrests. Their next court date, July 22nd.
The push to build a homeless shelter for vets is gaining ground tonight. The Alachua County Veteran Advisory Board met tonight to hear concerns and comments about the proposed project. Then members voted in favor of the shelter. The county wants to open the shelter at the intersection of Newberry and Tower Roads. One former homeless vet says it's the right move.
In Alachua County, the last estimate that I knew was approximately 500 homeless veterans. For a faster transition, facilities like this are needed.
Richard Davis sits on the advisory board. He says he supports the project as long as homeless veterans follow the rules.
They're going to have people that watch them, and they've been, you know, when they get a room down there, they're going to be told what they can and what they can't do.
At least one board member says the move is a bad idea. Terry Martinbach says there are just too many problems with the building, including cracks in the walls. Engineers with the North Florida South Georgia Department of Veterans Affairs say they have found one big problem with the proposed shelter. The building doesn't have adequate fire sprinklers. The VA cited the discrepancy in a report released today. The problem would have to be fixed before the proposed shelter could open.
Well, rainy and humid, and just a few of the words to describe our weather this week. Meteorologist Kyle Dennis joins us live from the Weather Center with tonight's First Alert Weather. Kyle, let's keep the umbrella handy, huh?
Yeah, although right now not much going on. We did see one final storm for the night here in southeastern Alachua County. You can see that is fizzling out now. The remainder of the night going to be partly to mostly cloudy, but the storms will be back tomorrow. Still a few of them up to the northwest part of the Panhandle into southern Mississippi and Louisiana as well. Another little disturbance is going to be riding off the Atlantic tomorrow. That means more afternoon storms, and that means another not quite so hot day. 90 degrees at noontime. I think we'll top out in the lower 90s, so a little bit warmer than we were today. 86 though by 5 o'clock with more afternoon thunderstorms. Brian and Tambry.
Thank you, Kyle. Strip mall casinos are popping up in parts of Florida.
Now, some say they're a fun way to kill time. Others say they're illegal. Poppy Harlow has the story.
Welcome to Florida? This isn't the Vegas Strip, it's a strip mall. Between barber shops and massage parlors, so-called sweepstakes cafes are popping up across the country. They've got the markings of a casino, free food, dark rooms, some open 24 hours. Does it feel like gambling to you a little bit?
Yes, that's what I like about it.
But are they casinos? Law enforcement thinks so, and they're shutting them down because here in Florida, only certain highly regulated operators are allowed to run casinos.
In our opinion, it's clearly gambling.
Owners say that's not the case.
It looks like a duck, talks like a duck, walks like a duck, but it's not a duck. Sweepstakes is a predetermined pool of tickets. It's totally different. There is no chance involved.
And in every one, you'll find a sign like this. Just to give you a sense of how many of these sweepstakes cafes there are, you've got one right here, you've got two across the street. They would not let us in, they would not talk to us. Right around the corner here, you've got another.
I'm playing the Vegas game. I just won 3 times in a row. My first time at this.
Here's how they work. You buy a phone card or internet time and get free sweepstakes points in return. Then log on and play away. Unlike a slot machine where you pay just to play, sweepstakes players are actually getting a product for their money, which owners say makes this legal. But you can still lose money, just like in a slot machine.
I ended up losing 15 bucks.
Do most people come to these establishments to use the web, or are they coming to play?
No, they come to play the games.
The Florida Attorney General's office says gambling activities may not be disguised as a game promotion, but leaves enforcement up to county sheriffs.
The law is not kept up with the technology, I guess.
We went out to find where does all this software come from. We found one of the biggest companies that makes it right in this industrial park on the outskirts of Atlanta.
I sell the computers preloaded with software to businesses that intend to promote their products.
Don Fichter runs World Touch Gaming and sells these terminals for $1,500 a pop.
I get a fraction of a penny per entry revealed,
making it a lucrative business for software developers and store owners who can bank up to $40,000 a day.
And it actually says that the total prizes over the next 1,000 entries will total $39.55. Okay, I can select entries and I can hit all, which is going to be all 90 entries, right? I have $39.55.
In prizes.
In prizes.
That's predetermination, which would make this legal. But as we found, not every place operates that way, and now many are getting raided by cops.
They wear like
flak suits and come with guns blazing.
Florida State Representative Peter Nair actually opened a sweepstakes cafe, only to have it shut down 2 months later.
It's not a gambling operation. It is a retail business who uses sweepstakes to promote their business.
But Sheriff Coates isn't buying it, and he's ordering them shut left and right.
There's nothing here to it. There's no handle, there's no lever, there's no random number generator, there's nothing.
machine.
No, it's a computer.
What games do you like to play?
The winning one.
All right, when we come back, a look at the full forecast for the rest of your work week.
And happier times for several couples who survived that monster earthquake in Japan. We'll take you to their I-do's. GTN News continues.
If you have a news tip, call GTN News at 331-4GTN or email us at news@mygtn.tv.
Hi, this is Freddie Weeby, owner of the 8 Gainesville Domino's. We're proud that you've made us the #1 pizza choice. Big reason for our success is our advertising, like our decision to partner with the Gainesville Television Network and their GTN News. Our Domino's sponsorship of Joe Gervin's GTN Sports has helped us build our brand. Bottom line, Gator Domino's and GTN News both deliver.
Thanks, Freddie. Gotta go.
Hey!
Every day, GTN News is all about coverage.
Coverage of breaking news and important local stories.
We cover your community because it's our community too.
We dig for details, taking the time to get it right.
It's a challenge we meet daily, serving you the biggest stories every day, every newscast.
One network, one team. GTN News.
Is this a good deal?
I don't even know anymore.
Well, know this. For a good deal on car insurance, Progressive Snapshot uses this to track my good driving habits. The better I drive, the more I save. It's crystal clear savings, and only Progressive has it.
Nice.
This has been a public savings announcement.
Out there with a better way. Now that's Progressive.
Hi, we're looking to save some money on our car insurance.
Great! At Progressive, you can compare rates side by side so you get the same coverage, often for less.
Wow, that is huge.
And this is to remind you that you could save hundreds.
Yeah, that'll certainly stick with me.
We'll take it.
Go, big money! I mean, go, it's your break, honey.
Same coverage, more savings. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
If you have a story for GTN News, call the newsroom now or email us at news@mygtn.tv.
Big Brothers Big Sisters of Mid-Florida has been serving the children in our community for over 35 years. By providing positive role models to at-risk youth, we make a big difference, one child at a time.
My big brother helps me with school.
My big sister listens to my problem.
Help us help these children.
This great cause needs your support.
Will you be my big sister?
For you, GTN meteorologist Kyle Dennis with your first alert forecast.
Temperature-wise, not so bad today. 89 degrees for the high, actually a little bit below normal thanks to some rain and thanks to some cloud cover. Picked up about a quarter of an inch of rain today. We're now almost up to 2 inches so far for the month, but still just more than a quarter inch below normal for the month. Still got plenty of time to make that up, but we're also now 4.42 inches below normal for the year, but we were 7 inches below normal just a couple weeks ago, and the start or the end of last week we were about 5 inches below normal as well. Notice on the satellite picture you can see cloud cover moving east to west rather than west to east. We have an area of high pressure up towards the north, the clockwise flow around that bringing in some weak disturbances off the Atlantic. I think we're going to see that again tomorrow. That means more thunderstorms, and again I think we'll be making that east to west progression just like we saw today. 79 right now is our current temperature here in Gainesville. It's 78 in Cross City. Valdosta 82 was pretty hot there today, into the upper 90s near 100. 75 in Ocala right now. It is 80 degrees in St. Augustine and 78 in Jacksonville. So temperature wise, again, not so bad today, but look at these dew points. Almost up to the actual air temperature. So even though the thunderstorms have ended, it is incredibly muggy out there and the humidity still remains pretty oppressive even though the temperatures aren't all that bad. The radar is dry now. We saw one final storm wrapping up in southeastern Alachua County just about an hour ago, and now we're dry virtually everywhere here in Florida. Up towards the north and west though, The western portion of the Panhandle still seeing a couple of lingering showers, same in southern Mississippi and portions of southeastern Louisiana. But again, tomorrow we're going to see another little disturbance ride its way in from the east off of the Atlantic. That's going to kick up some more thunderstorms right over the Gainesville area as we make our way into tomorrow afternoon. You can see that here on future weather. Just a few clouds lingering overnight tonight, not really seeing the thunderstorm activity. But as we make our way into the middle part of the day tomorrow, widespread storms. Once again, I think we could even be in for a couple of heavy downpours. They'll be localized, though, but I think many of us have a chance at least see some light showers. As we make our way into Wednesday, same deal, although not quite as numerous. And I think as Thursday and Friday come around, we're going to be saying goodbye to the rain, at least in terms of the widespread stuff. We could still see a couple of spotty storms, but for the most part, I think more sunshine by the time the end of the week comes around. For tonight, partly to mostly cloudy, 74 degrees for the low, so not too much more to drop from where we are now at 79. Westerly wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour as we make our way through the day. Tomorrow, 93. Today it was 89. So I think with a few more peaks of sunshine tomorrow, it gets a little bit hotter out there. Still some scattered storms, though, in the afternoon, back above normal with that high of 93. Westerly winds at around 5 to 10. And as we make our way into the next few days, we see those storms slowly start to decrease in number. But temperature-wise, not really going to see much change all week long. It's kind of hanging around 92 and 93. 92 on Wednesday, 93 on Thursday. Friday, is it 93 or 92? 93. Saturday, 92.
You don't remember, how are we supposed to?
Yeah, I know.
Just keep watching every day. All right. Kyle, thanks.
Thank you, Kyle. A top U.S. official in China. And that's where we begin as we take a look at news from around the world.
Time for global news now. China has arrived as a world power. That's according to a top U.S. military official. Admiral Mike Mullen made the declaration at the start of a 4-day visit to Beijing. The U.S. chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff also encouraged cooperation on efforts to ensure stability on the Korean Peninsula and to tackle terrorism. Emergency crews in Russia have mounted a large rescue operation after a cruise ship sank. More than 100 are believed to be dead. The accident happened yesterday afternoon east of Moscow. The boat was carrying 182 passengers. 5 couples who suffered in the March 11th earthquake in Japan got married at an aquarium. About 100 relatives and friends gathered to celebrate the marriage of 5 couples from disaster-hit areas northeast of Japan. At the Theater for Dolphin shows, the couples said their vows and exchanged wedding rings.
They were warmly congratulated by everyone and the Dolphins. I'm Mike Mickle. That's your Global News Now.
Thank you, Mike. Former Gator Abby Wambach is the hero for the United States as the club moves on to the World Cup semifinals.
And the Home Run Derby is the appetizer with tomorrow's All-Star Game, the entree. Jeremy serves it up next in sports.
This is GTN News, working for you in Alachua, Keystone Heights, High Springs, and Chiefland.
Audiences just can't get enough of Suds, the rockin' 60s musical soap opera at the Hippodrome Theater. Whether date night, girls' night out, or a family staycation, everyone loves those favorite tunes from the 60s like Respect, Please Mr. Postman, and You Can't Hurry Love. So the Hippodrome is holding over through July. It may be hot outside, but the Hip is in the 60s all summer long. So put a smile on your face. Book your tickets now at 375-HIPP and thehip.org.
Justice. There is one ruling force that works tirelessly to find the truth and keep the peace.
You're expecting someone else?
Judge Judy.
Weekdays at 5 and 5:30 on Gainesville's NBC 9.
30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease. So start walking for yourself. Start walking with your family. Start walking with your friends. Start a movement in your community. Start walking. Start something. To join the movement, log on to heart.org/start and help start something now.
I've been working at a Domino's store since 1986. I bleed for this company. But this carryout deal, ridiculous.
The deal is you can get large 3-topping pizzas for just $7.99 carryout Monday through Wednesday.
That's crazy.
I'm not crazy.
This pizza's worth at least twice what we're charging for it.
Customers wanted more carryout specials, so now we've got one that runs every week.
Every week?
Every week.
Patrick, I love you, but you're killing me.
If you have a story for GTN News, call the newsroom now or email us at news@mygtn.tv.
Think you have an eye for value?
This is pure gold.
Then what's worth more, a 1948 Bentley or the actual trigger and bullet? Here's a clue.
None of these items are for sale at the 99-cent store.
From original Air Jordans to a night in the Jersey Shore house, guess the price of the most outrageous items on Earth.
That elephant is worth what?
Cedric the Entertainer hosts the new game show, It's Worth What? Premieres Tuesday, July 19th on NBC.
This is GTN News, working for you in Gainesville, Lake City, Trenton, and Archer.
Well, the Braves' Jair Jurgens will not start the All-Star game tomorrow night in Arizona. And despite having the best ERA in the National League, Jurgens was passed over in favor of the Phillies ace Roy Halladay. Halladay having a great season as well. Let's go to the home run derby today. Prince Fielder was last year's champ, and today he was pretty solid, making it to the semifinals, but Prince was not king today. As in the finals, it was Adrian Gonzalez tearing it up. This was home run number 11, yes, for Gonzalez. But not to be outdone, Robinson Cano being pitched to by his father, looking for the same, and he would go on to the victory with 12 home runs. Cano is your home run derby champion. Look at that, 472 feet on that bomb. As far as the All-Star game, Halladay will start for the National League, with Jared Weaver getting the start for the AL.
I don't envy the people who have to make these decisions, decide who's going to pitch. There's obviously quite a few guys who are very worthy of it, and I just want to acknowledge that and congratulate those guys and say what an honor it is for me.
I'm just looking forward to the experience and truly honored, and you know, it hasn't really set in yet, so I'm looking forward to getting out there and you know, competing.
Atlanta's Brian McCann will start behind the plate for the National League. It was a thriller at the Women's World Cup as the United States knocks off Brazil. Not quite the upset as if it were the men, but Brazil was still the tournament favorite, and the U.S. hadn't played too well thus far. With more, here's Aaron Katursky.
It was one of the most riveting matches in the history of the Women's World Cup. The United States beat Brazil 5-3 on penalty kicks after a dramatic comeback with a late game-tying goal.
It was an emotional game. It was up, it was down, it was crazy in moments, but we came out on top, and I couldn't be more proud of us.
The victory marked a comeback on many levels. There was a controversial red card by the referee that left the U.S. one player short for almost half the match against the powerful Brazilian team. And then, just moments from being eliminated, Abby Wambach nailed a dramatic header, burying the ball into the rear side of the net, tying the game at 2 and leading to the penalty kick shootout.
This game is a game of inches, and in that moment, the inches were on our side.
During the shootout, Hope Solo made the save of her life on Brazil's third kick, the only kick stop.
Yes! Brilliant save from Solo!
Then Ali Krieger sealed the U.S. victory with her penalty kick goal.
We fought till the bitter end against all odds.
The historic win comes 12 years to the day after Brandi Chastain's iconic goal won the Women's World Cup for the U.S. on home soil and inspired the imagination of a generation of young American girls.
Really kind of created the pathway to our success. This team wants to create its own storybook ending.
With the host and defending champion Germany losing Friday, the Americans are likely favorites to claim their first title since 1999. Next up, a semifinal date with France on Wednesday.
Well, Rory McIlroy will be paired with three-time major winner Ernie Els and American Ricky Fowler in the first 2 rounds of the British Open. McIlroy will play for the first time since winning last month's U.S. Open, where he set 12 tournament records. Steve Stricker has to be one of the favorites at the British Open after winning his 3rd straight John Deere Classic. Stricker hit a clutch putt on 18 in yesterday's final round to win the tournament. Finished 22 under par, 1 shot ahead of Kyle Stanley. A rain-forcing Monday finish for the U.S. Women's Open. And what a clutch putt by So Yeon Yu, who forces a playoff with this birdie on 18. And in the playoff, facing So Hee Young, and Young missing the putt just barely. But that opens the door for Yu, who birdies 17, then birdies 18, and gets the victory, her first major in the LPGA. Should also mention that Bowl star, former Gator Joachim Noah, is going to play for France in the European Championships coming up later this month. He is a French citizen as well as an American.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. Well, next in health news, we all know smoking's bad for us, but how is secondhand smoke affecting our kids?
And it affects millions of Americans. Now, new research on sleep apnea might make a big difference for patients struggling to get some Z's.
To my last cupful of safe.
Howdy, all you folks out there in television land.
Hello out there in television land.
It's so tasty, too.
I like it.
Don't you ever hit me again.
Chief, I think we got a hit on our hands.
Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning.
Nothing could be finer
Than to be in Carolina in the
Now over the air on Digital 9.2. Call your cable and satellite provider and let them know you want Me TV too.
More curls. More cleavage. Stand up straighter. Lose the wedding ring. Welcome to Chicago.
We're the safest, luckiest, richest women in the world. What you doing, Have?
You killed the wrong guy.
Don't let the fluffy tales fool you.
It's the first time I've been called innocent.
I bet.
The Playboy Club, opening this fall right here on NBC.
From day one, I knew life would be different. Suddenly, I had someone else to think of first.
That's why I asked my doctor to complete the Healthy Start screening form. The screening pointed out risks that could affect our health.
Based on our needs, we receive free helpful services like childbirth preparation, stress relief, and parenting classes.
I'm glad I asked my doctor to complete the Healthy Start screening form.
And it looks like I made the right choice for both of us.
Every baby deserves a healthy start. Ask your healthcare provider to complete the Healthy Start screening form.
Imagine how much more beautiful your home could be with colored mulch from Griffiths Lumber. It's safe for pets and children. The color retains its beauty for 8 to 12 months, and mulch is great for your home environment. Griffiths colored mulch will help control weeds in flower gardens and keep soil temperatures cool to protect tender roots while aiding in water retention. And buying in bulk from Griffiths Lumber is much cheaper than by the bag. Find out what to use, where to use it, and how much to use at Griffiths Lumber on North 441 in Gainesville.
This is GTN News, working for you in Hawthorne, Ocala, Waldo, and Stark.
Sleep apnea is much more than losing a good night's sleep. A new study details why the disorder is so dangerous. Allison Harmelin has the story.
New research in the Journal of the American Heart Association looks at what sleep apnea does to the blood vessels in healthy people.
It provides some insight into how sleep apnea could lead to cardiovascular disease.
A person with sleep apnea can stop breathing for up to 10 seconds several times a night. Researchers looked at 108 people with the disorder and found that even healthy patients had abnormal small and large blood vessels that can reduce blood flow to the heart.
That is where coronary artery disease occurs, and that is therefore how those vessels can become obstructed and heart attacks can occur.
About 15 million people suffer from sleep apnea. Researchers say the new findings could change the way doctors treat people with the disorder.
The study shows people who use a continuous positive airway pressure mask to keep the airway open can improve the function of the vessels and increase their blood supply. Doctors say many people have sleep apnea and don't even know it, so getting a proper diagnosis is key. Making changes to your lifestyle can help too.
Weight loss, avoidance of alcohol, avoiding certain medications.
And trying not to sleep on your back is also a good way to get better, healthier sleep. Allison Harmelin, CBS News, New York.
Two new studies from the American Academy of Pediatrics look at how secondhand smoke exposure impacts America's youth. One study links exposure to secondhand smoke in the home with a 50% increased risk of the development of neurobehavioral disorders in children. It suggests that in nearly 5 million children younger than 12 who are exposed to secondhand smoke at home, up to 8% of them suffer from learning disabilities, ADHD, and other behavioral disorders. On a more positive note, the second study suggests children 8 to 13 who have a negative opinion of the smell of cigarette smoke are 78% less likely to start the habit later on.
For many of us, of course, the work week is just beginning.
If you're already looking to blow off some steam, this might help get you motivated. It worked for a group of employees in Utah. We'll explain after the break.
Working for you, on air and online. Log on to mygtn.tv for news anytime.
I got no sleep last night.
Well, I was up from 10 to midnight. You were asleep.
No, you were asleep because I was wide awake with my eyes open.
I was wide awake. I watched you sleeping. I stood over you, watched you sleep.
You want to do it real quick?
No, I don't want to do it real quick. Can't even think about.
That's not even your real sex phase.
Stop talking.
I wish it was.
Christina Applegate and Will Arnett are Up All Night. Wednesdays this fall on NBC.
No sleep tonight.
Join us for the Summer Fun Family Fishing Day on July 16th at the UF grounds of Fisheries and Aquatic Sciences. The event is free and begins at 8 a.m. Call 392-5283 for more info. Times are tough. Are you prepared to survive and thrive in these challenging economic times? Come hear a message from Shannon Nelson and the powerful slate of speakers she assembled for the Economy Empowerment Summit. Join us July 15th at the Best Western Gateway Grand. Call 226-7206 for more info. Join us for the 5th Annual Haven Hospice Antique Roadshow and Donation Roundup on July 16th. Come shop our exclusive antique showcase and dust off the antiques and treasures from your attic and donate them to Haven Attic. Visit havenhospice.org for more info. Learn football skills from Gator greats, including Shane Matthews. Have your kids join us for the Fun and Gun Football Camp on July 23rd. Each camper receives some great gifts and gets to play along with professional athletes. Visit funandgun.com for more info. Send your events to this email address.
Why not look at things Whitney's way?
Why are we having sex?
Because your hair's up and I ate pork.
Be serious. I mean, why aren't we tapping this every night? Hello there. Here to see the doctor? Fill out these forms.
I really need my employer's address?
Whitney, coming this fall to NBC.
Sir, no smoking.
What are you sweet? Maybe I put you out.
Hey. Thank you.
She may be a little gruff.
I got him.
And her methods
I'm not kidding you. I will frame you for something.
may be out there.
I got news for you. She's a good detective.
But you can't argue with her results.
What happened to your face? Good day at work.
Maria Bello stars in Prime Suspect. Coming this fall to NBC.
This is GTN News, working for you in Newberry, Cross City, Lake Butler, and Fort White.
One company is using a very unique method to motivate employees at the expense of its own executives.
Adaptive Computing in Utah promised workers they could blow up a 1995 Mirage belonging to a VP of sales if they surpassed their 2010 revenue goal. Well, as you can see, they clearly did. Thursday, employees all gathered to watch the car go up in a ball of fire.
Went over very well with the employees, and they want to surpass next goals too.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Probably.
I was thinking though, notice
Blast, no pun intended.
how old it was.
Yeah.
An old car. All right, fun to watch. Let's talk about the weather.
Well, not much change in the weather this week. If you didn't like today's weather, you got to put up with it at least through Saturday. 93 for the high tomorrow, more scattered storms. We'll see them again on Wednesday, a high of 92. Thursday, 93 with some scattered storms. Not quite as numerous. We may on Thursday see a few more peaks of sunshine. Friday, 93 with scattered storms and a chance of storms on Saturday with a high of 92.
All right, Kyle, thanks. And thank you for joining us.
Have a good night.